Hey guys, what's going on? So here, and did Microsoft lose their mind or just a ton of brain cells? So first of all, I think in 2021, the first thing we really need to admit here is that paying to play online is ransom money. It is 100% ransom money. And I'm open to hearing from Microsoft or any of these other companies why they need our money to maintain their services, especially in this day and age. There's a lot of different angles to look at this. I'm going to talk about it right now, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. So comment down below, and also, if you'll end up liking these kind of videos, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd appreciate that. We're trying this year. One of my goals for 2021 is to hit 1,000 subs. I'm going to try really, really hard. So, anyways, let's talk about this. First of all, I want to talk about the whole idea of just paying money to play online. Now, I personally subscribe to Game Pass. I like that approach better because I'm getting content for a certain amount of money, to where I feel like paying to just play online, and you can argue that with like all these services, they give you a little bit of something now, which is at least good, because back in the beginning, it was just basically, like I said, ransomware. You're paying for your internet bill, you're connected to the internet, but they won't let you actually connect to your friends and play on their service unless you pony up some cash. The idea of this has always been ridiculous to me because consoles have licensing fees. They've had ever since the original NES. And even going back to the Atari, there was some money being traded there just to sell games from other companies. It was weird with Atari because they only made the games internally themselves. But not to get too far off topic here, when it comes to how it's been for a while, it's like depending on the size of developer, games you expect to sell and stuff like that, it's usually like around 20-30% is what's taken from the sale of the game just for licensing fees. And this is supposed to get into like all kinds of things like QA testing and all this just to make sure the game works on the console. So, and with that in mind, and when you also look at like other platforms like on PC, and one of the things that like really got me into PC, early on because the games were unique, and later on because of practices like this. But when you look at like Steam, and they have similar like online services and stuff on their application, I guess, since it's not a console, but they also take a fee, and we all know this because of the Steam Epic War. Epic's like, we only take like 6 or 10% or something like that, and they're trying to like make us all buy the games because we're supposed to feel bad for the developers, which I never understood that angle, because I'm gonna buy the game where I want to play it or where it's best on sale, because I'm the consumer. The developers' interests aren't mine. So, but anyways, when you look at how Steam does it, they take a small percentage from the developers, 20-30%. And yes, it's a small percentage when you consider that they're developing Proton for Linux games. They maintain all their online stuff. They don't charge you for any of it. There is voice chat on Steam, by the way, and like party systems and all that stuff, text chat, all that. All that's handled through the sale of games. And there's no reason, somebody loves me, and there's no reason that you can't just do the same thing on console. I'm sorry. They could just take a certain percentage out of the cost of games. They just raise the game prices to $70 and just handle their back end that way. And the more and more games that you look at, like games like, let's put for instance like Call of Duty, or probably crossplay and stuff like that. Like typically back in the day, you could opt to use like an Xbox game server or something like that, and then they would also handle the voice chat, or you could get into like voice chat party, and you can still do that with games like, for instance, like Call of Duty, but only with other Xbox players. But like the internal chat on the current like Modern Warfare and Black Ops is Activision's server, because you have to be able to communicate with people across consoles, across PC, and so on and so forth. So like Microsoft's not even handling that stuff, right? And up until now, they were actually charging people to have the service just to play free-to-play games. And like, it was like 3 or 4 years ago just to use Netflix. They've always been kind of like, it's weird. They're forward thinking in things like achievements and some of the services on the console, but they've always been kind of like backwards thinking in some ways too. And granted, nowadays they do give some games away, but they're usually not like really great games, and that's really all I see for the service that you kind of get for your like money a year. Well, they announced that they're increasing the cost. So first of all, they got rid of the 1-year plan, which a couple of my friends were rightfully mad, because there's people that just want to get an Xbox to play with their friends because their other friends are on Xbox. They just play Call of Duty, Madden, whatever. and they just want the online service, and that's it. Which, once again, I don't even think they should need to have to pay for the online service, because they bought the game, they bought the console, whatever. You're in that ecosystem. Doubling the price, who thought this was a good idea? Like, I want to know what kind of business class that they're in and understand where they went to school, because that right there, I'm just like, you need to like tell anybody that's going to that school, get out, go someplace else, because that was just I don't understand. Doubling the price to $120 a year from $60, and you offer like effectively nothing extra whatsoever. And then you have this other service, Game Pass, and you're trying to get everybody on that. And the only thing you're doing is you're just shoving everybody else over to PlayStation that doesn't want Game Pass. So now you're just creating a more niche thing. It makes absolutely no sense. Here's what they should have done. They should have just gotten rid of Xbox Live Gold altogether. It should just go bye-bye. Because, like I said, there's no reason they can't float this. If they want to kind of like, if they actually do truly have some costs or something, and they want to try to like figure out a way to like get rid of that and then still like funnel in some cash for that, I don't know, like raise Game Pass $5. It's still a good enough deal that I think you could probably get away with that and people aren't going to bitch too much. But when you look at like the actual gold service now, I'm sorry, you're just not doing anything special, and you're not doing anything special that any other people aren't already doing for free. So let's just drop it. And then it gives you an advantage, because now you're at a console that people can go and play like their 1 or 2 games a year for free. You have them on the console itself. Once you have them on the console, you have them an entryway to get Game Pass later on if they want to. Because things change. People change jobs. They end up having more time at home and stuff. And maybe where they couldn't like have something like Game Pass and experience all those games, now they can. Or maybe they're just like, people go in moods sometimes. People for like a year will like watch TV and nothing else, and then decide they want to pick up gaming again or something like that. You know, you never know. Just having the opportunity to those people buying your prescription, having the opportunity to those people buying your subscription is really the biggest advantage to you. And I don't know what Microsoft was thinking. This was like one of the biggest, dumbest mistakes. And it really felt like back when they told everybody that you couldn't really buy used games on the Xbox One, and then they flipped on that again. And I know everybody's giving them mad props from going back to it, but no, I'm not going to give them mad props on it. Drop it all together. It's antiquated, it's stupid, it's dumb. I don't care if there's games for gold anymore. I really don't. Drop that. You have Game Pass. That just put an end to gold altogether, because it's dumb. Alright, so that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm really curious to know if you guys have like any other kind of angle here that you might think of, but I don't really buy that they need the $60 or $120 a year to actually have Xbox Live running. I just really don't. That's like an exorbitant amount of money to basically tax people to connect them to their friends and stuff. And yeah.